What's up, guys? Ncaa 31 here, bringing you Ncaa 13 online Dynasty footage. While I do a little bit of a college football roundup while watching the NFL, multitasking at its finest. And I'll do a video like this each week for both the NFL and the college football world, either previewing the week's games or doing a little wrap-up, talking about what's going on in the Ncaa and also in the NFL. Just a regular run-of-the-mill weekend in the college football world, huh? Just when you thought things were going to hold to form until the showdown matchups start to occur, the first one being Arkansas-Alabama, a monkey wrench gets thrown in as Arkansas goes down to UL Monroe. That's a classic case of college kids sleepwalking, looking ahead, and getting bitten. Yes, I know Tyler Wilson got knocked out of the game, but when you're Arkansas, a program that last year was arguably the third best team in the country, if you want to quibble and put either USC or Oregon ahead of them, I wouldn't argue with you, but clearly they were one of the top 5. Let's compromise and call it that. And they've been a consistent top 10 type of program for a little while now, even though they lose a very good quarterback, a guy who's going to be probably a first-round draft pick, first or second-round draft pick. You got to have enough to hold off and beat UL Monroe. You shouldn't have to hold them off, period, but, you know, that's going to happen sometimes. Michigan had to hold off Air Force. Notre Dame was very lucky to win the Purdue game, I thought. I'll get into that in a little bit. And, you know, Wisconsin didn't have a good day. They lost to Oregon State. So that kind of stuff can happen. But you got to win that game. You have to win that game. And it's going to ruin their season. It's dropped them out of the polls entirely. And they're going to lose to Alabama, I believe. So it's going to be very hard for them to have a, you know, worthwhile season, you know, by their standards, getting to a BCS game. It's going to be very tough, very, very tough, unless things break after, you know, the Alabama game, or if they beat Alabama, which I don't think they'll do. That loss is going to sting. But lesson learned. Lesson learned. A hard lesson learned for those guys. As far as going around the games that I watched or paid attention to, I watched Mississippi State, Auburn, and I could not believe how bad Auburn performed. I'm not a fan of their quarterback, Frazier. I know they played Clemson tough, and I know Mississippi State is a pretty solid team, but they just looked hideous. I mean, is this how Auburn is going to be post Cam Newton, post Nick Fairley? Is this the way it is for them now? Are they going to be just a 8-5 or 8-4, 7-5 type of program now? If so, Gene Chizik better get that resume, you know, dusted off, because they are very easily looking at possibly 1-4, and, you know, that's not going to fly down there in Auburn. That's not going to fly. I didn't watch this game, but I saw the score. K-State, Kansas State putting up 50-plus points, 52 to be exact, on the program formerly known as the U. We're going to have to start calling Miami the University of Florida at Coral Gables for the time being, as they go down 52-13. I think the U is officially dead.
Keep doing what you've been doing all week.
I'm going to have to do I'm going to do a video just talking about the state of the Miami Hurricanes football program and my theories on how it got to be. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about that. I had some interesting thoughts I'd like to share as far as the state of the Miami Hurricanes. But that's bad. That's as bad as it gets. Now, Bill Snyder is one of the great program builders in the history of college football. What he's done in 2 stints at K-State, building that program into a nationally ranked football program in Manhattan, Kansas, is an amazing job, one of the best jobs of all time. But 52-13 for the once proud Miami Hurricanes is as bad as it gets for that once proud program. The U is the U in name only now. Now, you know, of course, I watched Notre Dame. I actually watched Notre Dame, Purdue, and Florida, Texas A&M at the same time. I had Notre Dame going on my HD TV surround sound setup, and Florida and Texas A&M running on my laptop. And while I'm happy for Tommy Rees, I'm one of the few Notre Dame fans who actually likes Rees. I thought he was put in an impossible situation where he was set up to fail. Coming in cold, off a suspension, no timeouts left, driving to win the game. And I really didn't have much confidence he was going to do it, but the guy did it. And Notre Dame was very fortunate because Golson scares the heck out of me. I know he's learning, I know he's young, but right now he's playing quarterback like a slot wide receiver, learning how to play quarterback. And Notre Dame's offensive line kind of bothered me as well because they were having all kinds of trouble blocking up Purdue's interior offensive line, or defensive line rather. And that's going to bear watching down the road as the schedule stiffens up, as well as their youth and lack of depth in the defensive backfield. But hey, I'll take the win. I'll take the win and run with it. Texas A&M and Florida was a fun game to watch. I liked seeing the air raid, no huddle, and the SEC adds a little bit of flavor to the conference. And I've always been a Jeff Driscoll fan. I've watched Driscoll play a lot when he was in high school. The guy has the goods. Gator fans, you got yourself a good quarterback. He's going to be the real deal. He's going to be a pro. He just has to get more reps, more experience, settle into the offense, and you guys are going to be very happy with how he's going to play. Good live arm, good athlete, good player. The other newcomer to the SEC, Missouri, going down to Georgia. And that game, the final score of that game is a little deceptive. Mizzou hung in there for most of the game. The game got away from them late. It kind of snowballed on them. I really like Mizzou's quarterback, Franklin, but Jarvis Jones just took over the game. He just single-handedly almost snatched that game away from him. You know, the best player in the field has the chance of doing that on any given down, and he did. And, you know, Mizzou showed that, you know, they can hang. They have some work to do on the defensive end. Obviously, they show that they can, you know, compete for most of the game with one of the heavyweights in the SEC. I think both Missouri and A&M are going to be fine long term in the SEC.
Game, and these kids will remember this game for a long
so
time.
Far, though, I have to say that,
a great game, and they should be
you know, the class of college football is USC, Oregon, Alabama, LSU,
better clock management, in my opinion, would have made a difference.
At least defensively, I feel like Alabama and LSU are light years ahead of everybody else. They look like a pro team. They look like NFL defenses, schematically and also personnel-wise. They're just flat out scary in the things that they can do. And I put them 1-2, and we're going to be headed towards, you know, showdown games between those two and showdown games between USC and Oregon to kind of settle, you know, the dust a little bit. So that's a little brief wrap-up of the college football weekend. I didn't go into as much detail as I wanted to. I just kind of wanted to get this video out. I'm going to go back now and enjoy the NFL day, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.